All right, so you talked earlier about the first time you hunted the Trojan.
Yeah.
Since then, how has your approach to, stands or stand placement from when you started to where you are now?
So I think I was pretty, I mean, in general, very spoiled with the property. I mean, spoiled with the farm. Um, Being able to start in private and be around a bunch of guys that have hunted a long time I think, was really good, really helpful for me. And with that, and with hunting it a long time and being here, they had a lot of stands. And so, the good thing with that is I didn't have to hang a stand. The bad thing with that is you don't hang a lot of stands. So, practice in general with the stands and hanging them, you didn't really get. The other thing was you were kind of like I was kind of in the habit of always hanging or always sitting where stuff was already pre-hung. So, and like we were talking today, there's a stand I'm going to sit that I didn't even have marked that I found and that Joe, my father-in-law, had hung, and it's a great spot. I was going to hang my saddle there. So my approach when I started was just playing the wind very direct, not really having a great understanding of thermals, just trying to be wind in my face, and I was hanging mostly in ladders and a couple hang-ons. And then eventually I went to almost exclusively hang-ons. And then when probably a few years ago, wanted to start getting a little more mobile. And so, busting out I mean, up to that point, I don't think I even wore a harness. So busted out the harness, got a little higher in trees, started hanging on some sign, trying to get an idea of what sign means, how to recognize it, what's fresh versus old. And now I'm to the point where I prefer to be completely mobile, even if it takes a little more time or you got to get in a little earlier to hang something. And even new first this year, like the other day, was my first saddle hang, and I was obsessed.
Yeah.
So the approach now I would say is just, I mean, it's almost like more complicated as you know more. The more you know, the more questions you ask. So understanding thermal hubs, understanding your scent cone, understanding, in building too on general movement of where deer are, and then building POIs and sitting those POIs. And so it just generally growing a better understanding of the property, um, and then understanding like the importance of being able to move around. Because I will say, I feel like nothing's better than your first sit in a spot. So I've always had great opportunity there in first sits. Now, obviously, you can repeat sits and spots and stuff, but I have noticed some stands that are like grown into the trees here. It's almost like the deer will walk out and like look up at the at the stand. So, but yeah, just I really like being able to move around now.
So, what do you hope people take away from, your hunting stories, your vlog, your photos, your content that you produce? What do you hope to inspire?
I, I would just love people to do more of what they want to be doing. So if that means they're getting outside, if they're a hunting person, getting outside and being inspired to get in the tree more often. We talk about sitting perfect wind, perfect weather and opportunities, but we just got off the phone, me and you, with my father-in-law, and he said the exact same thing I'm about to say, which is there is a period of time where you can throw a lot of it out the window, and just being out there increases your opportunity by just being out there. So, what I hope is like people who maybe are already in it, they can look and see a photo or see a video or follow along on a vlog. And if they were on the fence about going out that day, they're definitely going out that day. Or if there's a question of shooting your bow, they're going to shoot their bow. So just like, being the thing that people need sometimes. And it was the same way for me last year. Like, had double pneumonia, was laying in bed and watching the Latitude guys. Like, it got me through those like 3 weeks of not being able to do anything in the prime rut too that year. So, um, yeah, just and honestly, having such limited experience in hunting as a whole, like the idea that you need to be somebody that has my grandpa and his grandpa on both sides and they hunted, and it's not a thing. So a lot of people talk about growing the sport, growing awareness of hunting, of what conservation is, because I mean, I some of these guys that hunt that I've met are some of the biggest conservationists I've ever met. Um, so yeah, just I guess taking from it that you can do what you want to do, and when in doubt, just go do it.